Hey, what's going on, guys? Butterbar here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Division 2 video. So today's topic, we are going to be talking about one thing that I think, at least on Reddit, I've seen a lot of people having a discussion about this, and it actually comes from the state of the game that we had yesterday. So in the state of the game, if you guys did not track what was announced, is that gear score 515, which is the highest gear score in the game so far, except for maybe when the raid releases next month, is the top tier gear in the game, and the only way to get that is through the Dark Zone. Now, I know a lot of people out there, I mean, majority of this community is kind of split between PvP players and PvE players. Now, don't get me wrong, I really actually do enjoy the Dark Zone. If I'm running with a crew and I'm going to the Dark Zone, I actually really enjoy my time in it. Whether I'm going against players or I'm going against the AI-controlled opponents, I really do enjoy the Dark Zone. The atmosphere and the surrounding environments that you actually get to immerse yourself into when you go to the Dark Zone is actually one of my favorite things about the area. The Dark Zone actually has a backstory on why it's desolate, why there's so much destruction, why is there so many different, chemical stains here and bodies laying here. There's a big story that goes on with Dark Zone, and I actually really enjoy that aspect of the Dark Zone. Now, when it comes to the gear that actually they do plan on putting just in the Dark Zone alone, I'm really split on where I see myself with that, because of course I would have no problem whatsoever going to the Dark Zone. I would link up with my friends, go in the Dark Zone, and grind out to look for this gear. I know, though, that everybody is going to be doing the exact same thing when it comes to the Dark Zone. They know where that gear score 515 is going to be at. They're going to jump in the Dark Zone and do the same thing. Now, I understand from the developers' aspect is that, hey, look, we want to drive more participation in the Dark Zone. They want to see populations growing in the Dark Zone, and this is one way of doing it. The one way to do it is actually to raise the gear score, and this being the only part of the game where the gear score is raised up to the max level so far. And to me, I get it. I get it where Massive is coming from. You want to grow the Dark Zone. You want to get more involvement in it. You want to have a better way of being able to bring in a in-game where people can have a place to go to grind out gear and get that max level. However, for players that are not like that, players like, again, half of me, where I enjoy the PvE part of the game, it really drives me away. I mean, if I was a player that just did not care for the Dark Zone very much, it would grind my gears. This is one thing that I really would not care about, is that I would not want to go in the PvP because I hate dealing with players. I just want to go after AI opponents, and at least for somebody that's like that just wants to play the PvE part of the game, they can't do that. If they want to go to gear score 515, they have to either recalibrate their gear, which if you do that, again, it takes some time to find the correct gear that you want, that have the correct talents, and then maybe they don't have the correct amounts of attributes on them, where you have to recal to get up to 515. But really, in the game right now, whenever this actually gets put in place for the Dark Zone for gear score 515, there's no other way to do that in the game so far, at least from what Massive has let us know. Dark Zone is the only way. So at least from what I've seen on Reddit, this is the one thing that I've really actually enjoyed reading and getting kind of people's opinion on, is there's a lot of different articles on Reddit that talk about, hey, why not heroic missions having gear score 515? So there's another way of getting gear score that's the highest amount, not just the Dark Zone. Also, for the PvE, you have heroic missions. Now, I'll tell you right now, even with the changes today, which I'll probably get into maybe in a later video, the changes to today, at least for the AI opponents' health and damage, has been reduced. I mean, I know for hard mode, it's been really reduced. Challenging and heroic, you have a little bit of slight changes to those difficulties, but at least for the heroic modes, these are the hardest difficulty in the game. They're the hardest modes in the game, and you can do heroic in all different types of not only strongholds but story missions. You have different ways of being able to complete content in this game on heroic difficulty, and again, it's the hardest difficulty in the game. Why not have that as the other avenue of getting gear score 515, since it's the hardest way of playing the game? Have it be rewarding, because right now in the game, in the Division 2, let's be honest, doing difficulty, having either challenging or heroic missions, there's really not that much reward in place for playing those higher difficulties. There right now is no incentive whatsoever to play missions on heroic. If you're wanting to be one of those types of players that gets a lot of XP, you can do it that way, but really XP, I mean, you're going to get field proficiencies, and that's about it. So right now in the game, challenging and heroic, there's not enough incentive right now to actually play those modes. However, if they do decide to move the gear score 515 from not just the Dark Zone, but to heroic missions, that is a great incentive for players that are wanting to do PvE content. That's going to cater to not only the PvP players in the Dark Zone, but you're also catering towards players in the PvE. Now, again, we don't know what's going to be going on with the raid. The raid has been pushed up till May. And we don't know. We don't know if the raid is going to be one of those raids like in the Division 1 where you can only play it once, and then once you play it again, you don't really get great gear. But also, too, it actually might have even higher gear score than just the 515 of the Dark Zone. It might be, 520, 530, even maybe 550. We don't know yet. But at least for right now, from at least what I've been reading on Reddit, it's a very sound decision, and I wonder if Massive plans on doing this maybe in the future. They just didn't talk about it in the state of the game. It would really be a good incentive for players that are really enjoying PvE. They don't really care too much for the PvP part of this game, to give them something to look forward to, give them a purpose on playing heroic missions and playing that on the hardest difficulty of the game. Giving gear score 515 as a reward for playing it on the hardest difficulty, I think would just be a great incentive for players to get back in the game. Maybe players have left just because maybe they've reached the top gear score in the game, 500 or 515, 510, whatever gear score they have. Maybe this is another incentive to draw people back into the game that enjoy PvE content by heroic missions, having greater rewards and rewarding players with gear score 515. So guys, I just wanted to give you my opinion. Again, look on Reddit. They have actually, I'm actually really surprised of how many people have been commenting on the gear score 515 being put into PvE heroic missions instead of PvP. Again, like I said, I know the community is pretty much is split between people that love PvP, that don't care too much for PvE, or players that are vice versa that love PvE that don't care for PvP. And then I know there's like a group in between where either don't care or just want to stop hearing people complain. But really, I just wanted to use this video as, look, here's another idea. If we're wanting to cater towards PvP players that love that content and they're giving great rewards in the Dark Zone, I really do think that we should be looking forward to doing the same thing for players that love PvE and doing that with heroic difficulty missions in Stronghold. So guys, I would love to know from you, what do you guys think about that? What do you think about being having an incentive for players that don't want to do PvP, but they want to do PvE and missions on heroic difficulty, and also having that drop gear score 515? Again, the raid is going to be here in the next couple of weeks, sometime in May, so it will give us a little bit more time to gear up to the highest gear score. But again, it also gives us another avenue. Instead of just doing PvP, we have a PvE route for other players. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this? Again, I would definitely check over at Reddit, read some of these articles that people are writing on Reddit about gear score 515 and all other types of things on Reddit. I actually really enjoy reading about different opinions on the Division 2. It's actually kind of an eye-opener of what other players are thinking. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please drop me a like. Let me know in the comments below again, what do you guys think about gear score 515 dropping on heroic mission difficulties? Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys all next time. Get them guns!